Good evening, Ram fans, and thanks for tuning in into another week of the Monday Night Sports Show. I'm Ellison Hubbard.
And I'm Ethan Bird. If there is anything we have learned about CSU men's basketball this season, it's that giving up is not a part of their vocabulary. This last Saturday, the Rams headed to Laramie for the second border war matchup of the season.
And the game didn't start off so hot for the Rams. Take a look. Stevens got the ball. He's trying to make a move right here. He's just taking it to the hole, going up, laying the ball up, getting a move in.
That'll start the Rams' 19-point comeback on the night. Adam Thistlewood drains one, contested, count that, and one. Adam Thistlewood doing his job.
Yeah, and then Wyoming comes in with the ball. They're going to try and get a bucket here. Big man shooting from deep, getting that three, nothing but net on that.
Point man Adam Stevens driving to the basket, but he'll miss. But Nico Carvacho does what he does best, gets the rebound, and puts it back into the basket.
Yeah, and the Rams, Stevens passing it out to Chris Martin, getting that three. Look at that. Woo! Net. Nothing but net right there.
Here is that defeated look on the Wyoming team after the Rams just went on a 15-0 run. That would end the 15-0 run, but the Rams really put it to them for the victory.
And that would do it for the Rams. They would take a border war sweep and come back to Fort Collins with a dub, 77-70. After the game, the CSU men's basketball head coach Nico Medved was proud of his team's fight.
Man, these guys just showed some grit. I thought we hesitated in the first half a little bit shooting the ball, and our guys just stayed confident. I believe we ended the game on a 15-0 run. Guys made winning plays, and that's just what this team's been about, all year. It doesn't matter how you do it, to find a way to come up here when Wyoming was playing really well and steal a road win like that was just awesome.
Now, Ellison, you're an athlete,
yeah.
So what does it mean to have a comeback win like that?
Man, to be playing against your rival and to come back and get a dub is amazing. When you look at it, they're up north. They're the team that you don't want to win. So coming back, making those fans happy, even though you're away, is huge right there for the Rams to come back and get that dub.
Absolutely. And if we could not talk enough about the CSU men's basketball team, Isaiah Stevens, the man himself, broke another record on Saturday, breaking the previous record of 121 single-season freshman assists held by Michael Morris. Stevens finished the game with 123. He now stands at 13th all-time on the single-season list, but with 4 games to go, that will only keep climbing. Another cool thing is that on Saturday, Michael Morris himself gave Stevens a shout-out on Twitter saying, "Congratulations, young fella. Records are meant to be broken, and you about to smash that thing." Morris played for the Rams from 2002 to 2006 and is considered one of the most dynamic guards to put on the green and gold.
Sticking with the hoops, the women's basketball team played for more than just sports this week. At the game on Saturday, the Rams wore the last names of the current UC Health Center patients on the back of their jerseys. The patients were honored to start the game and then received the jersey with their last name on it at the end of the game. But to start the game, CSU scored a total of 2 points in the first quarter of their border war matchup alone.
And now, starting it off for the Rams, Bonnerins goes in, she misses her shot, but that's why you follow your shot, so you can put 2 points on the board and 3 with the N1.
Yeah, now Wyoming with the ball. Jay Johnson has it, tries to make a move inside, doesn't know what to do, pass it out, shoots it. No, look at that, in there for a buzzer beater, hitting the rim, getting in there.
Now Quinn Weideman is the Cowboy with the ball. She's going to look for her lane, and she's going to take it on a sleeping Rams defense, finish that one off with another and one.
Yeah, and then now we have the Rams just confused, but they're down and they're going to make something happen. Brady gets the ball, shoots a three. Nothing but net right there by Brady. Beautiful right there on that three.
Now off of the inbound, the Rams have the ball off to Annie Brady. You're going to sound like a broken record. Another 3 and as many as 2 shots. She's going to help the Rams.
Yeah, now Tori passes it back to Brady. It's just repeating, driving in the hole, laying the ball up, getting it in. Ram fans are excited right there.
But the Rams would not be able to finish the game and lost 43-40 in Moby.
Yeah, that was a tough loss for the Rams against their rival, but I just hope that the girls get back on track and get to winning,
Absolutely. It's always tough to lose to your cross-the-border rival.
Exactly.
Nobody likes to see it, but if Rams are anything, they're resilient.
Yeah. On the track, the CSU's track and field team split between 2 meets this weekend at an Iowa State Classic and the other headed to the Don Kirby Invitational. Both teams made some noise, but those at the Iowa State Classic made the most noise over the whole weekend. where once again, multiple records were set for the Rams. Redshirt senior Allie Colliner set the school record in the 3,000 meter. Redshirt sophomore Lily Tomolasar Marty and Sarah Carter put themselves in the record books, marking themselves as 9th in the 13 best records in the school history for 5,000 meters. At the Don Kirby Invitational, 3 separate personal records were also set. Lauren Gals tied her personal record in the 400 meters. True freshman Mario Kiss and redshirt junior Bo Gordon both tossed their personal best shot puts. Looking to keep the strong performances alive, the Rams tracked them well, head to the Air Force Academy this Friday to compete in the Air Force Open.
Well, don't go anywhere, Rams. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return,
Hunter Fillmore will be here with another week of Hunter's Hotspot. Hunter, who is this week's Hotspot player?
This week, we are hitting the ice as the CSU men's hockey team takes on CU. This week's Hotspot player, well, let's just say he has made quite the impression on the last few games for the Rams. Hunter's Hotspot is coming up next.
Creak in my neck, limp in my step, cramping in my muscles every time I try to flex. I don't know what to get but if you throw me love, I'll feel some more.
How's it going, Ram fans? Welcome back to another week of Hunter's Hotspot. I'm Hunter Fillmore. This week, the CSU men's hockey team has a huge matchup. They will be taking to the ice to face off against CU Buffs twice this week. Despite both teams not having the season that they were looking for, a game against CU is still a rivalry game, and that is why it is the Hotspot game of the week. The last time that the Rams and the Buffs met, they took it all the way to overtime. Sam Cote had the game winner for the Rams in the last minute of overtime. Since then, both teams have had very poor seasons and sit at 6th and 7th in the standings. The Rams, however, have been picking up the momentum. The Rams are currently on a 4-game win streak and are having a whole team contribute on this stat sheet. In those 4 games, they have had 9 different players score a goal. The team, however, is ranked 6th in the division for goals per game. The area that the team has stepped up is the penalty kill. Last year, the Rams were sitting in the penalty box much more than they are this year. The Rams are ranked 2nd in the division for penalty kill and are a much more disciplined team this season. The Buffs, on the other hand, only have a single win in the season and sit at 7th place in the category and are the worst ranked team in the league. They are averaging just under 2 goals a game and allow an average of 5 goals per game. The points leader for the teams is Brandon Henson, who has 10 goals and 5 assists. However, Henson has not been producing for his team recently and in the last 5 games only has 1 assist. The CU team is going to have to start producing to get a win against the Rams this week. Jessica Mendoza is live at Epic Ice Arena as we speak. Jessica, I know that CTV has spoken with some of the players leading into this game. What are they thinking?
Last time that these two teams met up was electric, to say the least. But now Kyle Nelson from the CSU hockey team says that the guys are more confident and motivated than they've been all season long. It's likely due to the past few weeks they've racked up some quality wins. He also says they're just taking it day by day at this point, and they're actually trying to block out some of that outside pressure and noise that just naturally comes from these big rival games. Now, taking a look at the CU Buffaloes, they are a very young team. 8 freshmen and 10 sophomores. CSU is going to do everything that they can to use that to their advantage when they play them here at Epic at home on Friday, and then they'll go on the road on Saturday to play the Buffaloes once again on Saturday. Back to you, Hunter.
Thanks, Jess. We will have to see what they are able to do. Now, the hotspot player that has been standing out for the Rams all season is Nicholas Marcancini. Marcancini has 2 points in the last 3 games and has led his team in points all season. That is why Marcancini is the player to look out for in this game. He is a versatile player that can get in front of the net and screen the goaltender. He also has the ability to get the quick wrister when inside that zone. With the way that the Rams have been able to spread the puck around in recent games, they have a very favorable matchup against the Rams. They will have to continue to keep the pressure in the offensive zone and limit the time that they spend in that penalty box to win this game. Well, Rams, that's all I have for you this week, but don't go anywhere because when we return, Ethan and Ellison will be back with softball and the NBA All-Star updates.
That's right, and after an exciting start to the season, the CSU softball team did not get the results they were looking for at the Puerto Vallarta College Challenge.
And with a new format to the NBA All-Star Game, how do the fans really feel? I'll let you know after the break. Stay tuned, Rams.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
CSU softball season went south as they traveled south of the border this weekend in the Puerto Vallarta College Challenge. The Rams only led for a total of 4 innings and were shut out twice in their 5-game road trip. The final game yesterday was against the Mexican National Olympic team. The Rams scored their lone run of the game in the top of the first off of a scoring error. The Rams would drop the international friendly 7-1 and would fall to 4-5 on the season.
The NBA All-Star Game had entertained fans tremendously last night as the rules were changed for a charity in honor of Kobe Bryant. Both teams wearing number 2 for Gigi and number 24 for Kobe. Each quarter counted for charity, meaning each team that wins the quarter, money is donated to that Chicago-based charity they are representing. In the fourth, each team had to reach a target score, which was set at 157 points. That's when the game would soon get everyone on their feet, as it was all eyes on Anthony Davis for a game-winning free throw that would take it home for Team LeBron. I mean, Ethan, you wanted it to end in a different shot, but a free throw, that's not that bad because it was a 2-point game.
So, I mean, the whole quarter was extremely entertaining. Mm-hmm. I mean, when was the last time you watched an NBA All-Star game and was on the edge of your seat?
Exactly.
You know, and I think that the new format has done so much for the game.
It was like they were fighting for an NBA final right there in the fourth quarter. I was amazed to watch that.
Very fun. Speaking of hot-handed players, there were quite a few exciting moments from this past week. Jayson, which plays got into this week's top 5?
So this week we got some firsts. Ellison, unfortunately, no Zion plays this week, but we do have lacrosse and men's volleyball, plus one not top play. Find out who made the top 5 and who did not, coming up next.
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back from the break, Rams, and instead of Hubbard's Huddle, I'm introducing Jason's Gems to you. I'm Jayson Ortiz, and I have 5 top plays of the week that I can't stop talking about, and 1 not top play. A true epic fail. So let's start this week's Gems, starting with number 5. We have the CSU women's basketball team, and we have in the corner Annie Brady knocking down a 3. And just wait, there's more. Coming up, we have Jamie Bon-Aarons, who has another 3. And then quickly after that, the Rams weren't done yet, knocking down another 3. And finally, Mackenzie Ellis follows it up with a 3. The Rams totaled up 15 threes in one game versus Utah State. Count on to beat that one. But coming up at number 4, we have Kemba Walker. Look at this pass between LeBron's legs. Let's slow it down. Behind the back, through the wickets, and then Embiid finishes it with a windmill. Pretty impressive. And then at number 3, we have Chris Martin. In the corner, we have Martin finishing off the game, basically going ahead of Wyoming. Even more impressive. Chris Martin faded to the corner after Isaiah Stevens penetrated the defense. As we can see here, look at this. Penetrates the defense. Porter has no idea where the ball's going. Chris Martin in the corner finishes that one off, puts the Rams ahead, and then look, he'll have a smile on his face at the end as he's knocking down some free throws to seal the game. 15-0 run, like Ethan said earlier, to knock off Wyoming at home. At number 2, we have the ultimate lax move. Stony Brook women's lacrosse. Watch this. Freshman, over the shoulder. Let's slow it down for you. If you didn't see it the first time, she goes over her back shoulder, no look, top shelf. What a way to score to that game. And finally, number 1, I know you've been waiting for this one, and it's Pepperdine volleyball. Take a look at Joe here. He serves the ball. Keep an eye on him. Number 3 in white, the whole match. He goes under the net, keeps it outside to keep it in play, goes back, uses abs of steel to keep it up with that dig, and then as the ball's coming over, it's a little weak roll, but he precisely puts it in the corner to score the point and get him the win. And finally, I got that not top play. I know you heard that right. Not enough to be in the top 5, but it's still a play we can all laugh at. My man's here. They're having a dunk contest. It seems like they're in like a dorm, and he dunks it, but he put a hole in the wall. You look at just the look on his face tells you that he knows he messed up, and you probably shouldn't have been doing that in the first place. And everybody's having a good laugh until my man comes through the door, and they show him the hole, and his face gives you what you need to know. Unfortunately, that probably did not end how they wanted it to. But Rams, that's going to do it for this week's Jason's Gems. Don't go anywhere because Ethan Bird, Ellison Hubbard, Hunter Fillmore, and myself will be back with another Down in the DMs. Tune in to see if we answer your question this week. We'll be right back.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up 1 finger if you're a man. Women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60. 2 over 50. 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
It go down in the DM. It go down, it go down. It goes down in the DM. It go down in the DM. It go down, tell it.
Welcome back, Rams. We are back with another week of Down in the DMs. This week's question comes from Brandon Vasquez, and he asks, was the Astros punishment enough, and was Manfred's reasoning believable? Lots of feelings about this one, but I'm going to toss this one to you, Jayson,
Yeah.
how you feeling?
Yeah.
How you
Oh
feeling?
my goodness. Believable is probably the worst word that could have been used there. Anything that is coming out of Houston Astros front office, any type of words that are coming out of, especially Carlos Correa's mouth, it's a complete lie. He says we deserve to win that championship. We have good players. Yeah. I mean, good players and know what's coming. Yeah. I think what really stuck out to me, it was Mike Trout coming out and saying that if I knew what pitch was coming, baseball would be really fun. Because being the best player in the world and knowing what's coming, I mean, the punishment was not good enough to only take one. What you took away 2 years of draft picks.
But they still have the other 30 rounds.
Exactly. Exactly. First and second round, and then
so bad.
And then you fine them $5 million. They said you can make that back in like 10 games of beer sales.
Yeah, you make that back in beers. That's pocket change.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
Baseball,
to me,
they make a lot of money. And I don't watch it, but I know millions of people out there watching it. So that $5 million is nothing.
Nothing.
And what the Astros not getting their championship taken away, you're going to give it to them because you're basically saying in a way that you won the game. And you cheated, but you really didn't cheat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you punishing them with $5 million and taking away draft picks is not enough. And the Astros are going to keep on fighting and say, well, we didn't cheat. We just knew this. But did they really know it?
The worst thing Manfred is this is just going to be a stain on his career until he dies. But the worst thing that he said was, why would I bring back a piece of metal? Why are we fighting about a piece of metal? And one thing, you're going to like this.
Yeah.
Well, something that the player said for me was Justin Turner. Here's what he had to say.
Which, by the way, is called the Commissioner's Trophy. So for him to devalue it the way he did yesterday is just tells me how out of touch he is with the players in this game.
And I never thought that I would agree with a Dodger. I never thought that in all of my days I would put a positive thing about the Dodgers on TV. But what Justin Turner had to say, I think it speaks so much to how little Rob Manfred cares about the game, and that he cares about the players that bring him money. Exactly. I just think it's ridiculous. It's a complete farce. You remember when Barstool made those T-shirts of Roger Goodell with the clown
ones?
nose?
Yep.
It's Rob Manfred's turn.
He might be worse than Goodell.
You're going to degrade the trophy that is put in the commissioner's name? It has
your name on it.
I completely agree with you guys. It seems like this team has not taken anything seriously, and they feel like they shouldn't be affected at all. It's just everything that they're doing is not respectful to the rest of the league and anybody else involved.
I say they need to be suspended
some type
for
of punishment.
A long time
Exactly.
until they get it fixed.
Literally, right as I was walking into the show tonight, I forgot the name, but one of the pitchers, Marte, he in the Astros organization just got banned for a whole season for PEDs. And it's a ban coming from the Astros, but it wasn't the one any of us wanted. And if they're going, if Roger Goodell is able to ban a player for PEDs, but not for cheating, he should call up Pete Rose right now and apologize.
Yeah, and if you're looking at it, you got to think that if they're going, that Manfred said that it's a zero tolerance policy. All the threats that the Astros have been getting, like we're going to hit you in every single game. He said there's a zero tolerance policy for that. And if any pitchers do that, they're going to get suspended. They're going to get suspended than any Astros player did for cheating.
Wow.
And it's just completely absurd.
And one final thing, I'm sorry, forgot about this point.
Go ahead.
But Manchester City, English Premier League, they just got banned for 2 full seasons from the English Premier League for financial problems, they cheated in their finances. And they got banned from their whole league for 2 years. Rob Manfred, take a note. Let's move on.
Wow.
We can all just agree that we all hate the Astros,
Yeah. And for our second down in the DMs question, this one comes from @TenorGhetto. And he asked, should the XFL winners replace the NFL's worst team? Hunter, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think.
I have been a fan of the XFL, but there is a reason that these players are in the XFL and not the NFL. And they should not be replacing any team, because the good enough players that are in this league are going to get moved up to the NFL because these NFL teams are going to want to pick them up.
Exactly.
I think it would be fun.
I think so too.
It would be really fun. I mean, I just talked about the EPL. The EPL does this, and it's created a strong soccer culture, and I think it could create an even stronger football culture. And honestly, if the XFL wants to have any type of secure future, they'll partner with the NFL like this. And I think that's the best way to do it. The top team in the XFL and the bottom team in the NFL will just keep going back and forth, but it could create a lot of openings.
Yeah, look at this. The Defenders right now are 2-0, and the Bengals were what? Did they win a game?
They won one.
They won one. That's not good enough for me, in my opinion. You're going to be in the league, at least do something to at least win 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a good idea. Now, I'm not saying that coach is going to come out there and outcoach somebody, but the players are going to give their effort because they know I should be in this league, not these guys that are going bad every year. So I just think the XFL winners should face the worst team. Now, I don't know how that's going to play out.
Face them, or they should be in that league now.
I mean, maybe they should face them.
Maybe they should face them and play for their spot. That would be interesting to see.
A little playing
game. What you're saying here is players that are in the XFL want to be in the NFL, but they're not there. Cardell Jones, the quarterback of the Defenders, was in the NFL, and he is now in the XFL because he has no job in the NFL.
Shout out Mark King, baby.
Dalton, 100%.
I think Cardell's probably better than a lot of quarterbacks that are in the league, but you got to think he didn't have the chance. He was behind Phillip Rivers. They're not going to give Cardell Jones that chance to play over a future Hall of Famer.
He wasn't with the Chargers his whole career, though.
But he's been behind better quarterbacks than him. Send him to the Bengals and let him try and beat out Joe Burrow for a spot. But I'm just thinking it would be beneficial to put something out there like this out there just so it stops teams from tanking, because that kind of ruins the game. It seems like teams want to go as soon as you go on a losing streak, they start tanking games just to get the better draft pick, or even start doing something like the NBA and doing a lottery pick for the bottom 5.
And look, I know I'm wrong here, but this would bring in more money.
It would.
And even the XFL would gain more fans for that. Don't you think?
Nothing wrong with money.
Because, nothing wrong with money.
Whatever bad thing happened with sports and money, right?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Okay.
I think it would be more interesting if it was a feeder league, kind of like the G League or something, because there's leagues that have that, like the NHL has that, and they all have that. So I think the XFL could partner in that way, but I don't think this is really.
I want Tim Tebow. That's my closing thoughts.
Please,
I want a Tebow again. That's
Tebow times. R.I.P.
Well, Rams, that is all we have for this week. Thank you for sending in your questions for down the DMs, and be sure to keep DMing us, and we might just pick your question to be on air.
To keep updated with more sports throughout the week, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at sports_CTV. I'm Jayson Ortiz.
I'm Ethan Bird.
I'm Ellison Hubbard.
And I'm Hunter Fillmore. Tune back in tomorrow for the news you know from the people you know. Erica Johnson and Brendan Fairbairn will be talking about if Steve Addazio was the right hire for CSU.
And in Rambuzz, they talk about the women's swim and dive chances at winning their first Mountain West. You don't want to miss it. Until next week, have a great night, Rams.